All right, everybody, and we're live. So this is super exciting. This is the first live stream on this channel. And yeah, a very warm welcome to all of you watching. So before we get into the topic for today, I wanted to give a very brief overview of what we're going to do today, and also explain why I'm doing this. So you might know that we have done a couple of live streams on the Firebase channel, and one of the reasons why I'm doing a live stream over here is to get more practice in doing a live stream, being more comfortable, and being able to type while talking, interacting with the audience, and generally being more proficient in doing this. And also another reason why I'm doing this is I've been working on an app for tracking blog posts for a while now. And if you've been in any conference that I've spoken at or at any talk, you probably have seen it. It's a knowledge base management application, and the reason why I built it in the first place was I needed something to track blog posts because I needed something that I can collect blog posts into for curating my newsletter. So that was how this application came to be, and I thought it might be a fun idea to rebuild it from scratch, live, in public, and this is why we're here today. So before we actually start building the application, I'm going to show you how it looks like. So here we are in the iOS simulator, and I've got a version of the application running here, and you can see that it has a number of cells, so it's a very simple list here, and we can see all the articles that I collected. So for example, let's go into this one here, and you can see that this article is about SwiftUI's observable macro. I can read this article, and if I want, I can take some notes. So here you see that I've already taken some notes about the article. Let's look at a different article. What about this one? So this is a German one. So recently we were at a bar and Tim suggested a cocktail called the aviation cocktail. So I was curious to learn more about it, found this article here, and it's in German. So I don't have any notes here, but I can now tap on this magic wand button to ask the AI to summarize this article for me. So here we have the summary, now in English because I wrote the prompt in English. So, and all of that is marked down, so probably we should be able to render that very nicely. Okay, so what else? There is another thing in this application. So instead of just summarizing the article, I can go in and ask questions. So for example, I could ask stuff like, tell me how to use the observable macro. And then after a short moment, I will get an answer telling me how to use the observable macro. And that is based on the content that is in my knowledge base alone, so it doesn't go out to the internet to fetch any additional information, and it doesn't use the world knowledge that is in the model. It just uses what's in my knowledge base here. So let's go and add another article. So how about this sendable and sendable closures article here? So let's try adding this into Sophia. If I want, I can make changes here, but let's just keep it as at this. go back into the application, and here is the article. So now I can go in and read the article, or I can summarize it, or I could have a conversation with the application about sendable. Tell me what is sendable. And here we go. So here is the, all right, doesn't scroll. I don't know. All right, so I killed the simulator. That's a great start. All right, so while I killed the simulator and restarted, why don't you just say hello in the live stream so we know who's here? And then we can see what is happening here. All right. Okay, let's kill this. Okay. Oh no, I just noticed chat is disabled for the live stream. I have no idea why. Anyways, let me quickly check if I can change that, because I do want people to chat. All right, manage videos, live, customization, live chat. There we go. Changes saved. All right. All right, so if you're in the live chat, please send me a reply so I know that you're there. Sorry about that. Maybe you can say your name and where you're from, so that I know who's on the stream. All right, so coming back to our application here, let me switch to the correct simulator and then just quickly boot up the simulator. Hey, Franklin. And then we'll get into building this application. All right, so here's the simulator. Perfect. So I have no idea, but for some reason, booting up any kind of application in the simulator on Xcode 16 is super slow. I mean, this is literally a bare bones application, just the Hello World app that you get when you start Xcode, and it's taking a long time to start. There we go. All right, so, and let's minimize sim control, Rocket Sim, sorry. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to start building the UI for this application. So here is a very simple list, and I'm going to start building this list here in my SwiftUI view over here. So the first thing that we want to have is probably, let's have a text. And that, let's make a little bit more space. All right, no can do. Well, like this. Okay. Okay, so in the list, the first thing that we want to show is the title of the site that this article is from. So here we have the title. Let's make a little bit more space. Unpause the preview. Okay, and then we need another text, and so they need to be beneath each other. So what we need is a vstack. And this will be the title. And then another one for the summary. Okay, so that's a good start, but the alignment is off. So let's try to fix the alignment here. So put this to leading. And now let's change the fonts. So this is probably a headline. And let's make this larger. This is a headline. And this down here is a subheadline, I assume. And then we'll have another subheadline. All right, this is looking good, but let's see. Okay, so you can see that because a vstack is a content hugging view, it only will consume as much space as it needs. And the longest text in here is the name of the site here. And let's see how we can make sure that it consumes all of the space. So one way to do this is to wrap this in a hstack here, and then add a spacer. So now it is consuming all of the available space, which is really good. But I think we might not even need this because we did want to put this into a list, right? So let's do that, put it into a list. And now let me remove this and let's see. Okay, well, okay, we'll stick with that for now. But I want to have a different type of list. So list style, and I want a plain list. Like this, okay. And I also want a navigation title. So let's wrap this in a navigation stack. Like this, and then we can define a title here. Very important to use a dot. And the navigation title should be inbox. Okay, great. So this is, we're getting there. So we can make this smaller here. Okay, cool. So there are a couple more elements that we need. So first of all, we need the state here, and this probably should be on the same line as this one here. So we can go in, and I'm going to embed this in a hstack. So hstack allows me to align my elements after each other. All right, so, and then we will have a text here. Just insert the date like this. And now we do indeed need to have a spacer. Like this. All right. And a chevron. So for that, we need an image, system image. And let's look one up. Chevron. So chevron.write. So chevron.write sounds like it might be a good idea, but the thing is, if our UI is in left to right, it's fine, but if we are in a right to left, that might point into the wrong direction. So instead of using that, we will use chevron.forward, and that will automatically point into the right direction. All right, looking at the live stream, we've got more people joining. Hello from Korea. Hey, Jun Seok. Nice to meet you. And Lars from Hanover. And Hendrik from Hanover. We met at SwiftConf 2023. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, you can see that I've got different colors here for the labels. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all, this label here is good, and it's also bold, so we can leave it like that. For this one, we will use foreground style dot secondary. So that should give us a slightly gray tint there. And then for the image, we will do the same. Okay, cool. And then for the summary, we will do the same. Like this. Okay, cool. So, and now let's see what happens if we have more text. And I'm going to create some lorem ipsum here. Let's create a couple of words, maybe 6 words should be enough. Okay. Dolor, probably. All right, so this is 2 lines. Let's have more text here. Let's generate 15 words. Okay, cool. All right, so, but I only want to have 2 lines. So we'll have a line limit of 2, and this will automatically truncate my sentence. That's nice. And also we should do the same for the title. Yeah, maybe like that. Nobody would have a long title like that, I guess. So we'll have a line limit of 1. Okay, cool. So, and then something else that you can't see here is I want to be able to mark those items as favorites. And the favorite icon should be over here, similar to what you have in the Mail app. So in the Mail app, if you flag something, you will get a little flag, and that flag will appear right here below the chevron. So so that means it needs to be on the same line as this one here, the title. So again, we can probably go ahead and embed this in the HStack here. Hello? Embed in HStack. There we go. Okay, and now another image. Also, you might notice that it is giving me this predictive code completion here, which is quite nice. And I found that oftentimes this actually did work quite well. But let's see. But now it doesn't know what we're talking about, right? So let's look up the flag. Flag.fill. There we go. And now we notice that, you know, the alignment is not correct. So I'll use the same trick as I did here with the border. So I'm going to place a border here, and then another border on the chevron, and maybe let's use a different color here. Blue, that's fine. Okay, so they're not aligned. So let's put a spacer. Okay, great. All right. Cool. So let me check my notes and see what else I did want to do here. So we've got the title, the chevron, the subtitle, the texts. Yeah, this is looking good. There is another thing that we need, and that is the read and unread marker, so the blue thing here. Let's see. So this is the VStack, so this is the entire thing. So we want to put the blue dot in front of that. So I'm going to embed this in another H stack, and then we will need a circle. See, so maybe that's a little bit too much. So okay, so blue is great. 64 is a little bit too much. I think 10 is fine. And then let's see. Okay, we need to make sure that this is top aligned. So alignment dot top, like this. Okay, but now this is not. Let's increase this. Okay, so this should be aligned with the text. So we'll probably have to add a little bit of padding. Padding from the top, I guess. Let's see how much. Yeah, that might be enough. Okay. Cool. All right, so this is looking quite nice. Let's remove the border, and then let's have a couple of elements. 8 elements in our lists. Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, we need to remove those borders here. Here's another one. Okay, great. So this is working nicely. So what I want to do next is, now all of this is mock data and not even great mock data. So I want to, oh, and I forgot one thing, the flag. All right, that's better. Okay, so I want to have proper mock data here. So I'm going to create a new folder now, so we can have our model. And because that is a lot of typing, I'll be a lazy bone and I'll copy something from over here. So I've got, oops, I've got this file in my copy buffer. And you can see that it is the model for an artifact, and it has a number of attributes: the title, the author, a URL, excerpt, and so on and so forth. So this is able to hold all the data that we need to store stuff like blog posts and potentially other things, right? So because I want this application to be capable of dealing with all sorts of data, not just blog posts, but maybe even PDF files or CSV files. So in the long run, I need to be able to point to a storage location. So at the moment, the URL is the URL of the blog post that I'm storing, but it might be something else in the future. We've got the title, which is the title of the document. And then we have the excerpt. This will contain the summary that we either write ourselves or that the AI generates for us. Then we've got things like the reading time, which is really important for articles, a URL for an image, because lots of articles have a hero image and we want to be able to display that as well. Whether the article has been read, so if I've read this, and in one of the next streams, I'm going to show you how to implement a feature where if the user goes into the article and starts reading it, we will mark the article as read after 3 seconds. So in many applications, stuff will be marked as unread once you navigate into the element. But I think that's not a great idea, because sometimes you will navigate into something and then you realize, oh no, I didn't want to read that. It was the wrong thing. You know, I clicked on the wrong thing. Or maybe you read the first paragraph and then you're like, oh no, I don't want to read that. And then you back out of it. And then the thing is marked as unread. And then you'll have to swipe to mark it unread it's marked as read, and you need to swipe to mark it as unread again. So, you know, I think it's better to give people a little bit of time. And this is why in one of the next streams, we're going to implement a feature like that. Okay, and many more attributes. But so for today, we don't need all of them, but just a few. So let's get another file. And this is really fantastic. So let's first paste it. And then I'm going to talk about it. So this is a Mockable protocol. And I'd like to give a shout out to the person who recommended this. So this is something that I've covered in my newsletter as well. So in this episode here, episode number 55, mock data for your SwiftUI previews. So let's see who shared this. So it was Ares. And here's the protocol. Here's how you use it. And here's why this is such a great idea, right? So in your previews, you want to have mock data, and using this approach makes it really easy. Okay, so and now for some actual mock data, let's copy this as well. All right, so now the name of the file is not great. Okay, artifact dot plus mockable, or plus mocks, plus mockable. Naming is hard, isn't it? Okay, and then we probably, do we need foundation? I don't know. Yes, we probably need foundation. Okay. More people have joined on the stream. Carl, hey, Carl. Oh, so many people from the northern part of Germany. That's fantastic. Eric, hey Eric. Daniel. Yeah, great. All right, so let's look at the data. So maybe let's look at something that's easy to see. Okay, so here, right? So I basically create this array with a bunch of instances of my artifact class, and I can easily set all those attributes here. For the first one here, there is a little bit more because it also contains some HTML, which will become important in the next episode. So everything is here in the mock list. And you will notice that I did not have to implement the mock property, because that is implemented here in the Mockable protocol. So we have the mock list, which I filled, and we have the mock, and you can see here in this protocol extension that I provided a default implementation. So this default implementation will automatically grab the first element in this array, and that, you know, makes it possible for me to, to not implement those 3 lines of code. Great, right? Okay. We need one more thing, and that is the date, because we want to have a human readable date. Okay, let's paste this here. All right, so this is not great. Let's create a new file from template, Swift file, artifact plus date. All right, so all this does is take the date, use the German locale, and return the date as a readable date for me. Good. All right, so with all of that out of the way, we can now go in and use real data here. So I'm going to give another shout out to another dear person, and this is to Daniel Steinberg, who taught me the following. And I love it so much. It's fantastic. So oftentimes when you build something in SwiftUI, you'll have your view, and the body grows and grows and grows and grows, and then you've got all your state and all your functions, and it gets out of hand quite easily. So Daniel has this suggestion to separate your visual representation of the view and the state representation. So check this. So what we'll do is we will put the body into an extension like this. Now that's not a big deal, but we can now put all of our state up here. So state var artifacts equals artifact dot mock lists, like this. And now I can go here, artifacts, okay, and then artifact, like that. And now I can start replacing all the static variables here. Artifact dot site name, artifact dot created at string. This is the title, artifact dot title, and this is the summary, artifact dot, is it the description or was it the excerpt? Let's try the excerpt. Let's see. Oh, something went wrong. Oh, this must be unwrapped. Okay. This might be nil, so we need to do that. And I don't think that the excerpt is the correct thing that we want. Let's see. It does seem to be that the excerpt is what we want, right? It does. Okay, let's see. What is going on? Okay. Okay, nice. So now we have all our mock data, and oops, where did my screen go? That's not good. All right, folks, I lost my screen momentarily. All right, and this is why we have... All right, where is it? TTT. I know you can see it, but I can't see it. I might have to... Okay, deskpad, come here. There we go. Whew. Oh no, that's not what I needed. The problem is if I try to... All right, let me see. How can I get back to my display? Okay, so the reason why I'm looking for my screen is because I'm using deskpad, which is a virtual monitor. And it has gone somewhere and I can't find it. There we go. Okay. Whew. That was quite the excitement. All right. Okay. Cool. So, oh, in terms of timing, by the way, I aim to land at the 1 hour mark around-ish. So we've got 20 more minutes to go. So let's see what we can do in the remaining 20 minutes. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to refactor my cell here, because as you can see, this is already growing a little bit here, and I want to make sure that this is much more manageable. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to right-click on the haystack here, which is my cell, and then I'm going to make this into a subview. So where are we? Extract subview. Boom. So now I have a subview, and you will notice that there are a couple of compile errors now. So let's first see if we can rename this. Refactor, rename, and I'm going to name this artifact list row view, like this. We still don't have the artifact in here. So let's just define it. Artifact is an artifact. Very nice. Thanks for helping, Xcode. And now we need to pass it in here. Artifact is an artifact. So, and that should get us into business again. There we are. Great. So that was the first step. And you already noticed that I was able to just copy and paste stuff, right? So those of you who've been to some of my SwiftUI components talks know that I have complained about the missing refactoring capabilities of Xcode quite a bit. So watch this. I just cut this, and then I create a new folder, views, select the folder, it's still selected, and then I just paste, Command V, and there we go. Artifact list row view. And the only thing that is left for me is to import SwiftUI. As easy as that. That's really good. So whoever at Apple implemented this, thank you. It's great. It's really great. Cool. We don't have a preview over here, so let's quickly fix that. So use the add preview freestyling macro. Hello, typo. And then artifact list row view. And now, of course, we need an artifact here. So, and that should be easy enough because we have a mock. Give it a moment for the preview to come back to life. So that's great. I'm going to wrap this in a list and also in a navigation stack like this. And style, not button style, list style. List style dot plain. Okay, awesome. And a navigation title. Cool. All right. So, but here is a problem, or I don't know if it's a problem, but it's something that I think we should think about, right? So this view here, this artifact list row view, this is very specific to the artifact now, right? So I can see that my artifact is being used all over the place. And it might be worth considering implementing this as something that is more flexible, right? So how can we do that? So instead of using the artifact here, let's define a couple of other variables. So the title should be a string. Then we have a subtitle. Subtitle, that's also a string. Then we have the summary, that is a string. Let's not make them optional. What else? Is red, of course. And that can be false. And then is flagged is also a Boolean, and it can also be false. Okay, so, and again, to organize my code better, I'm going to put all of this into the view itself. And then I'm going to create an extension on the artifact list row view to keep my code nice and clean. And now you can see that this is really nice and clean up here, and all of this down here below contains my artifact. And you can see that we now have a compile error because we have all those properties up here, but we only provide the artifact property. Okay. So instead of using the artifact, which I'm going to just remove here, we're now going to use the title. Oh, and this is, let's call this extra info. Var extra info is a string. Extra info. We've got the subtitle. We've got the flag, and we've got the summary. Okay. So now down here, we have a much more, reusable call site. So we can imagine reusing this in other places as well. Obviously, we should probably rename this row to something that is more, it's not tied to the artifact concept too much, but let's use this for now. So there is a compile error, which is probably somewhere here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's replace this here as well. So, and this can be artifact.title. No, it's not artifact.title, it's the site name. Artifact. And this is the artifact.title. Here we have artifact.created@string. And here we have artifact.excerpt. There we go. Or an empty string if it's empty. And the same is the case up here. Okay. Cool. All right, so this works better. And now we should probably make this here optional or conditional. So let's make this conditional, and the condition for it is if is flagged. Boom. And I think this should be fine. And for the circle, so the problem with the circle, let's take a look at what happens to the circle. So I'm going to insert another row here. This now indents and that doesn't indent. So now you think, okay, maybe why did he delete the empty view? Yeah, that's fine. Why did he delete the empty view? Let's put it back and see if that helps. Nope, it doesn't. So the right thing to do is to use opacity. So I'm going to set the opacity of this element to 0 if it is red, and to non-zero if it's not red. Is red? If yes, then we don't want to display the blue red. If yes, then we don't want to display the blue dot. And if not, we want to display it. Nice. Okay, so now let's look at how our content view looks like. There we go. Apparently, none of them are marked as unread. Okay. Also, no, this is fine. I think, yeah, I thought I had made a mistake. Okay. Oh yeah, I know what's going on. We forgot to send it in. Comma is red. Artifact dot is red. Is flagged. Artifact dot is flagged. Oh, look at that. So this is where predictive code completion goes wrong. I mean, there is no. We didn't define this on red or on flag. It might, I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, I think. So Xcode suggests to implement those closures here so that whenever an onRead event happens in the artifact list row view, it would trigger this. Yeah, we're going to do this differently. Okay. So, has no member is flagged. Oh, is starred. There we go. Okay, so most of them are not red, but just this one, and here is a flag, so this is working nicely. Okay, cool. So let's actually implement reading an element or marking an element as read, and to do that, I'm firstly going to move this content view over here. Then let's rename it to artifact lists screen, because it is going to be one of our main screens. Cool. All right, so what I want to do is I want to be able to swipe to mark something as read. So let's implement a swipe action, and I want to specify that the mark as read action is on the left-hand side of the screen. So I need to specify the edge here, like this, and it's going to be the leading edge. And let's define a button. I need an action and a label. Okay, great. So the label is going to be red, and then let's see, badge and envelope dot badge. There we go. Okay, so envelope dot badge dot fill, and then if this is red, we want to toggle this artifact dot is red dot toggle. Okay, so now the compiler complains that we can't mutate this because this is a let constant. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we refer to this state up here using a binding. So we can use a list binding here. And now that should be fine. And there we go. Boom. We can now mark stuff as read, modifying our model. Nice. Okay. Couple more changes. This should probably be blue, like that. And then artifact dot is red. If it is red, oh, look at that. Isn't it smart? Okay, so it was smart enough to help me pick the right label here. Red, unread, great. And then for the system image, artifact dot is red. Yeah, nice, but it's almost. Okay. Okay, so I think I remember the problem is that for some reason, you can only use, or the swipe actions will only use filled, the fill variant of an image. So that is something that we'll have to look into resolving later because we're almost running out of time. So what we'll do is we'll just not use the badge, which makes sense, right? Because badge off. Okay, great, cool. So that is marking the element as red. Let's see, do we have time for one more thing? Yeah, let's do one more swipe action. Let's do a swipe action on the right-hand side, and we want to delete an element. So, and I'm going to just, no, I'm not going to copy this because I want to show you something. Okay, dot button, and then we need a role. So now we want the button that has a role, and it's already pre-filling it as destructive. So let's see, oops, no, like that. Okay, what is missing? Yeah, that was not useful. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so dot destructive, here's our action, and here is the label. Label, title key, delete, system image is, I guess, trash. Trash.fill. I don't know. Well, we use trash, and then we'll see what it does with it. And now we need to remove it. So artifacts.remove. Yeah, this will not work. We need remove where. And it's already replacing it. So predictive code completion works quite nicely here. Let's see. Okay, so now we get this really nice animation here. So let me show you how that looks like if I remove the role. Right? So it's a very jarring experience. So definitely useful to use destructive as a role here. All right. Cool. So we're at the 1 hour mark. Thanks for everybody who joined. I see somebody asking when is the next stream. So let me switch to the outro. Go to the pip. Outro. Oh, there is no outro. Oh, I know why. Let's fix this. There we go. Okay, so the second episode will be next week, October 28th at the same time. So join me then, and we'll continue building this application. So one thing that I'm going to do next time is adding more swipe actions, of course. We will also look into navigation, and I will start building out a repository or a storage service of sorts, so that we'll be able to connect it to Firestore in the next step. And then we'll see where it takes us. I mean, you've seen all the AI features that are in the app, so I will add some AI features there. Oh, and also, this should be presented in a window. Right, like that. So we'll add AI features. We will connect it to Gemini. We will use Genkit in the backend, all the good stuff. If you're watching this after the live stream, feel free to drop your questions into the comments of the live stream. And feel free to reach out on Twitter. My handle is @PeterFriese, or on any of the other social channels. It should be easy to find me. And that's it. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening, wherever you are. Thanks for dialing in, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.